What is going on, guys? We're back with another video today, and we are doing what we have done a few times now. I think this might be our third Madden doing the top 10 most overpowered position changes. I think the first one I actually did top 10 players, but now I'm starting to think, a lot of the positions, the overalls can kind of be the same. So this is going to be a top 10 players, but it's also going to be a top 10 position changes for, Madden 20. The first one we have, of course, is putting Lamar Jackson at quarterback. I'm just kidding. I had to throw Lamar Jackson joke in there, get it. He's a running back, but he can try to play quarterback. I'm not going to touch Lamar Jackson because 94 speed at quarterback is ridiculous. But we will go for quarterback. We're going to attack that real quick. And what we're going to do, there's some familiar faces you guys may know. Where the hell are you guys? Here we are with Terrelle, Pryor, and Braxton Miller. Braxton Miller, not so much, but Braxton is a bit younger and faster. So we're going to put them both at QB, and we'll take a look at what their overall changes are. Now, both quarterbacks, they do drop a bit from 71 and 73 overall to 54 and 52. But the thing about them is they're fast. That's the reason why you want them. Terrelle Pryor, very tall, very fast. If you're going for a fun guy and you're going to go for a guy, if they're a little jukey as well, these guys are going to be the fastest, cheap options you're going to get that are at least usable. Kyler Murray, probably impossible to trade for. Lamar Jackson in the past was very hard year one. But these guys, obviously, they're not sought after, so you can get them pretty much free, put them at QB, have a little fun. Now, this is one you probably would not expect me to go for, but I was trying to think outside the box a little bit and think about what overpowered players that nobody really would think about using. I have linemen here moving to fullback. Yes, fullback. And I hate this game sometimes. So here's Greg Robinson, who started as a 70. He goes to a 55, which is a little low. But for 75 speed, 84 excel, and, what is it called? 92 strength, age 26. He's not going to be a really good left tackle, but you do have yourself an extremely cheese fullback. We also do have Garrett Bradbury, who I think actually is a bit better. I think he actually doesn't even really go down. I think he starts as a 73 here, and he actually only moves down to a 69 overall. Once again, a 300-pound, 6'3" guy with great strength, pretty damn good speed. You compare that to most of the fullbacks that are good at blocking, you're just not going to see that. He's also a rookie, so he's going to be the most developable fullback you got. These are great blocking stats for a fullback. And then I threw one in here that's a little debatable, but Jack Doyle does become the best run-blocking fullback in the league with 91 catching. He's got 77 speed. He is 77 overall. The problem is he does drop from an 85 overall, but going to fullback, he might regress less since he's already 29, and you don't really need a tight end on the Colts if that's who you're using. Now, this one you can pretty much use for any position, but high zone players moving over to safety if they're a cornerback. The reason why I like Sherman here is, one, he does go up, but he is a bit slow. He's a lockdown corner still, but at 88 speed is very hard to get it going against some of those better, faster players. But as a free safety, he's got the size. He's insane. He's got decent hit power for a cornerback moving over to free. Richard Sherman is number 8. Pretty much as any good zone cornerbacks playing safety is number 8. Here's one that's a little debatable, but I think it's definitely a legit one. 76 overall DK Metcalf moving over to tight end. How OP is this? Goes up 1 overall. Obviously, a lot of wide receivers go up in overall, but he's kind of fit for it because he's obviously super fit. Speaking of, he's athletic as hell. 95 speed, 93 excel. Doesn't really need the agility for tight end that much. He's a little elusive, decent catching, and the big thing is he actually can block pretty well, I think. 53, okay, maybe not. He's decent, though, I suppose, at blocking. So number 6, it's going to be another position type rather than actual, just player. But DJ Reader from left end, who is a right end anyways, 78 overall, goes to an 80 overall. But the most important thing is he becomes basically the best nose tackle in football because, he's 347 pounds. He's huge, and he's just obviously goes up in overall. So defensive ends, guys with a lot of block shed that are slow, put them at DT, especially if somehow they're playing in a 4-3 like the Niners have guys like Solomon Thomas. You could probably put him at DT, trade for him because they're not going to want to keep him. I don't really want to in our Niners league, but that's because they don't, they have too many players the way it is. But a guy like Solomon, he'll go up a few overalls at defensive tackle, and he won't be that hard to trade for. Now we have another one that's kind of OP, and maybe it should have been lumped in with the tight end to fullback, all that crap, but Levine Toilolo, the big 6'8" guy. I mean, he even played tackle for the Falcons, I think, one game. I think he got smoked all game long. But if you move big 6'8" Levine Toilolo to fullback, he actually barely drops an overall, and now you may just have a freak of nature at fullback. 75 speed, 83 excel, 6'8", 265 pounds, decent catching at the fullback position. This is, I don't think at a tight end position he's really too OP because he's very easy to cover, but as a fullback, you know, you don't really expect the fullback to get many carries or, you know, catches. But Levine, he's a beast. He's got decent block, you know, run block for a fullback as well. Most fullbacks are 60 or lower. So that's my number 5, Levine Toilolo, the giant, playing behind the quarterback. What, I mean, imagine the protection from him. Once again, you know, we're kind of going off the rails a little bit. I think as a Vikings team, if you're actually going to use the Vikings, you kind of need the linebacker. The linebacker core is a little iffy without him. But since he is 6'5", I had to give him a test at safety. Okay, he doesn't want to go. From an 82 overall, stays as an 82 overall, but now you have a 6'5" monster at free safety. Probably fits a little bit better at strong safety. He's got decent jump. I mean, he's comparing with these guys, you know, very comparable. Great hit power, great tackling. Block shed's going to be one of the best, if not the best safety in the league if you switch him there. I mean, this guy's an absolute monster anywhere you play him, but I think 6'5", decent speed as a safety, probably a strong safety like we said, is freakly. It's actually freakly, and I think this would actually be kind of fun. Once again, going back to, you know, a little bit of an overused move, moving guys that are big at wide receiver to tight end. Tight end is a little hard to find. Of course, you can see Mike Evans goes from 91 to a 92 overall. You have other guys, though, that are even better and are actually a little more practical. Guys like Chris Conley, they might not be the top of your list. You know, for me, I would definitely use Westbrook, Cole, and then Chark. So Conley, you might not need him. And you can see here, tight end's not a great position for the Jags. You know, you kind of basically look for the guys with a decent bit of run blocking. Conley from a 75 overall goes up to an 80. That's a big boost. A team like the Jets, I know Anunwa kind of is one of the big names there, but you do have Robbie, you have Crowder, you can try Deontay Thompson. Anunwa, 79 overall. What is his overall to tight end? Another great run blocking wide receiver. He goes to an 85. That's a major upgrade. 6'2" is a little small, but the weight, 225, that's decent. 89 speed, 91 excel, ridiculous moves. These ones I like. Another one you can go for, a tall guy like Mac Hollins, 71 overall, moving him over to tight end, I believe puts him up 6. It does. He goes up 6 overalls. You got yourself a 6'4", 221, 90 speed, 90 excel tight end. And I think that one is very worthy of that spot. Is it number 3 or number 4? I think it's the 4th spot on our position list. Now, number 3 is one that you maybe didn't think of, but we're going to get a guy like Jamal Adams, and we're going to see what overall he is at middle linebacker or even outside linebacker if you need it. You can see he goes from a 90 overall to a 91. You now have yourself a 6'1", 213 pound, 91 speed, 90 excel middle linebacker. And this one's a little more practical. If you don't care about, you know, whether it's sim or not, Jamal Adams is a lot easier to trade for than, let's say, a superstar 90 overall middle linebacker. So you can trade for him and move him over to actually help you out. He also becomes probably not even probably, 100% the best coverage linebacker in the game. And I think one of the highest hitting, if not the highest hitting safety, 2 linebacker in the game. You know, you can pretty much do this with a lot of different positions. As long as they have okay block shed, which of course, Jamal being one of the better safeties in the league does have. So that's my number 3. Guys like Jamal, but Jamal specifically to middle linebacker. Now you have an absolute freak of nature at number 2, Derwin James. Basically, this one at number 2 is just put him anywhere you freaking want. Develop him as a pass rusher. Develop him as a safety, linebacker, even a cornerback. And now cornerback, that's the main one for me. He goes from a 88 overall down to an 87. He drops 1 overall. But the main thing that to note is not only is he a superstar X Factor, he's 6'2" with decent speed, is now you have yourself an amazing hit power cornerback. You look around the league, outside of him, I'm going to guess maybe like an 80. Yeah, 82 overall, randomer from the Packers. Jalen Ramsey, Kyle Fuller. Derwin James, the corner, is OP. Middle linebacker, he literally fits perfectly there. He just kind of reminds me of a Shazier there, honestly. Derwin James, any real athletic safety with good man and zone coverage to cornerback or linebacker, that's going to be number 2. Now, I think we know number 1 is pretty obvious. It's wide receiver to running back. Now, this one's a little bit more questionable, though, because when you have these insanely fast guys at wide receiver, they're debatably more dangerous at that position. This one's a little bit more for the faster guys that aren't superstar wide receivers, like John Ross. I think he goes up about 5 overalls to running back, and he's obviously insanely fast. He probably becomes the fastest running back in the league instantly. He does, right above Corey Grant, but obviously way better excel and a lot younger. John Ross, huge, upgrade. It really comes down to just guys that can break tackles. Guys like Antonio Brown, he'd be a great running back. T.Y. Hilton be great, even Golden Tate. Tyler Lockett, kind of a need at wide receiver for the Seahawks, but Tyler Lockett, he's pretty good too. He goes from an 84, 85 to a 99. He's one of the most agile players in the game. I guess we'll show you Tyreek Hill, but let's be honest, from a 94, he's definitely going to go to a 99. 99 overall there as well. It'd be cool if you could do Tariq Cohen. God damn it, Bengal. Tariq Cohen to wide receiver, but that conversion really doesn't work out too much. Obviously, guys like Cordero, they're insane going to running back. But that's the number 1. It's going to be, if I were to guess which one I would say would be the best to move, it would probably be John Ross, just because he's not the greatest of receivers. But once again, Tyreek Hill, you don't really want to ruin that. Marquise Goodwin, I don't think you want to ruin that either. Maybe Marquise Brown, but once again, he's not super elusive. You can also, if you wanted to, you're really going long term, get one of these young guys, put them at running back, or keep them at wide receiver if you want. Put them at running back to upgrade their juking, and then, there you go. You got yourself an elusive wide receiver, or vice versa, whatever you want to do. A lot of fast wide receivers just came in the league as well, so, very fitting. You guys can test out who you think is the most overpowered. Teams with extra speedy wide receivers, like the Panthers, they have DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel. Those are the teams you could probably go for with that. Let me know if there was a position core or a specific position that you think I snubbed. Guys like Larry Fitzgerald, the tight end, they always do well too because he's an amazing blocker. But yeah, I thought this was a good video. I think we went pretty unique. We named a bunch of different positions and players. Obviously this entire video could have been all wide receiver to running back because there's so many overpowered, speedy guys that are just unbelievable moving to running back. That would be very hard to stop. I don't know about their carrying, though. Carrying's decent for some of these guys. Carrying, elusiveness, those are kind of stats you're looking for. But anyways, if you guys have any ideas for a video like this in the future, I'm actually going to save this roster. Maybe we'll use this in the future. Who knows? If you have an idea like this in the future, I will do it. Let me know in the comment section below. If you have, like, top 10, I don't know, like maybe we'll do a trades one at some point. Let me know in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're new to the channel, maybe subscribe, like the video if you liked it. Tons of Madden content. Might see another video later today, or maybe it already came out. I don't know. But yeah, until next video, see ya!